Friday at your place, clearly.
Yeah, it's Friday somewhere. If it's not Friday somewhere, I've just declared it Friday.
Well, happy Friday to you, but
Happy Friday.
It is actually Thursday, which is terrible because I have to go to work tomorrow. Who goes back to work on a Friday of all days, really?
One that has one of these things on their head, or is it one of these things? I don't know which way it is. Either way, it's an L.
Both ways, it's like, the joys of have your own business, and yes, you've got to go in at the end of every month and fix everything and tidy everything up, and that includes my most favourite one of the year, end of month on New Year's Eve. Just go to work and do some work. But anyway, that's enough of my whinging for now.
Let it fly. I don't honestly don't miss the rodents. Same thing, because it doesn't matter the day, because they don't care. If they want their food, they want their water, and they want to make babies. They don't care. Babies.
And they will punish you badly if you fail to supply the basics.
Yep, that's it. You don't look after them, they don't give you babies. Very simple.
No. Or they die and stink and make your life a pure misery.
That's it. In that case, I should have bought lots of monitors and had Lacey's and Spencer's and Perennies and Gildeye and all sorts of stuff. But
all the cool bits.
Hey, but I didn't. Maybe I should have. Maybe. A few free-range monitors around the warehouse.
Would have been handy. You imagine the destruction, though, when they decide they want to get into something.
Mass destruction.
They get in.
Yeah. You'd find them, they just blurted out onto something hot, just like, and there'd be like 1,000 rats running around everywhere.
Just full.
Crazy.
They'd be healthy.
Yep, a few in early. Phil, Colvin, Adrian, Jason, Troy, Hovenden, how you go, mate? Mr. Muzz Williams, Michelle, Ace Butley, how you go, Ace? Dave Avery, Chris Brown, how you going? Good to see us all. It's boring us again. Boring me. Quiet season for me. All my stuff's hatched out now, so nothing overly exciting. It's hatched out.
You will enjoy the smaller end of the season, the much less workload for you this year, which will probably be nice for a change for the last few big seasons you had.
I've had a few crackers. Yeah, I think I'm around maybe 20 this season. I haven't actually done a clutch count, but that's probably around where it is. So still plenty to keep me occupied.
Still plenty of work in that. That's 20 clutches. There's still a good workload, but an easier year on by your standard for sure.
Yeah, that's it. Keep the wife happy. Well, sort of. Less animals to feed. She'll kill me for lots of other things, but
yes. Well, that's just the depth that varies, isn't it? It's just what day it is and how much trouble Darren's in.
Yeah, that's it. It always varies. It's normally from here to here. Never lower. So how was Christmas, mate? Did you have a good Christmas? You and the fam?
Bloody great, mate. It's I think it was the first time ever we didn't leave home. So we had Christmas Day at our place and Mum and Dad came over, and Boxing Day at our place at Shrewsbury over. So it's a very nice time where you don't have to pack the car and drag the kids all over the place. So it was good. Very nice.
Yeah, that's nice. Unfortunately, we do.
You stayed home or you travelled?
No, we went over to Christmas Day, went over to Mum and Dad's, and Mum's not well with dementia. She's going to have to go into a home soon, but over there, it's always a bit of a laugh because she's got no idea what's going on. So we just take the piss out of her all day long, and she just laughs. So,
as long as she has a good time, that's all. Yeah,
that's it. But so we had to load the car and grab the kids and go over and spent the day over there. It's pretty chilled and relaxed. So it was all right. It wasn't too bad. But didn't come home.
It's not a big trouble. It's not too far for you.
Yeah, no. By the time we get there, get up once upon a time, the kids would be up the crack of dawn for Christmas. Now that they're older,
it's like
10 o'clock. They come and wake me up. It's like
because they've been up till 4 or 5 a.m. anyway. So
you try to get them to go to bed so you can wrap some presents at the last minute. And,
yes.
Or so my wife can wrap presents at the last minute, I should say.
Yep.
I'm a bit slack. I don't do that sort of shit.
It
is stinking hot in here, tell you. Sweating my butt crack off.
Yeah, clean up.
I just had to wipe it.
Mr. Schumack in the house. Hello, Colin.
Hey, Cole. Didn't you get your Christmas card, mate? It was sent. And along with a present, too.
Yeah.
Didn't turn up, blame Australia Post.
You probably licked the envelope too much as per normal. It's gone all soggy before you posted it.
Is there something wrong with that?
I've seen the way you lick things, and yes, there is something wrong with it. It's very bad.
Very careful. We don't want to make this a non-children's Christmas special.
7:30. Be careful. Be careful.
Especially when you have alcohol. Yes. You're going to chill with a couple of beers. So what clutches you got tonight, mate? You got a couple of exciting clutches, I think.
2. Yes. Funny story of that. What's the first one? Second one. Anyway, one's caramel jag, het pepper, het albino that proved out last year, the het albino. That was a bit of a gamble clutch last year that paid off nicely, paired to a caramel double het pepper albino. So hopefully we'll see some albino pepper combos in there. We got the albino pepper jag last year, which was beautiful. I'm still yet to hatch it. Just an albino pepper would be very nice. Just a plain old albino pepper. Yeah, I know. You've had an unbelievably bad run of getting numbers of them. You know, you've got a couple. What have you got? 3, 4 or something?
3, yeah. Yep.
3. Yep. After many egg attempts. So it's just, sometimes those, the morphs you want don't pop up.
No,
and the second clutch is a caramel freaky zebra Jaguar head Axanthic to a snow, but bit of a interesting story of me just being freakishly lucky, I suppose. The head Axanthic part I knew because I used a super zebra many years ago to a ghost Jaguar to make all those clutches. So I knew that everything in that clutch would be 100% het Axanthic. But following year, I used that super zebra with an albino something, and it proved out to be het albino. So, which I always knew she was a pos het albino, but proved it out later that she actually was het albino. But I hadn't really considered going backwards in time that the clutch I'd made the year before suddenly all became pos het albino. Until this week, I'm standing in front of my incubator again going, why is there an albino head in that clutch? And I'm thinking I have stuffed up a pairing here. That is the wrong number on that tub, or I have put the wrong male in with this girl, and I don't understand. But then I thought about it. I thought she laid them, they're her eggs, so I've got to have done something wrong here. But then sort of 5 minutes of think time of thinking I'm going to have to ring Darren in a minute because I've stuffed this up. And then I went, hang on. All those things are pos het albino. So looks like this one proved out. I guess I was lucky. I used the sister with a ghost jag. So no idea what's happening with that girl. But this girl with a snow was the perfect weapon to find out.
Yeah, nice. And I guess that's, things like that is why you should always keep records of pairings you've made, because sometimes you get an anomaly in a clutch and you think, what the hell is that and why is that there? And if you don't have a history, often, you probably get the same people give questions about this, that, and the other. I'm like, well, what's the history on the animal? And that's why it's important. If you've got a documented history and what you've paired and what pairings you've done in the past, something like that suddenly pops up and you scratch your head, like in your case, and you go, hang on a sec, if I go back a couple of years, I made this pairing and I forgot that this was this, and obviously it can explain what's happened today.
All comes out, and because I don't particularly, I didn't go backwards in time, I guess, so at the time I'd labelled those tubs just Freaky Zebra Het Axanthic, so that's what they've been on their tubs for years while they've grown up, and hadn't really considered later on, to go back and think, oh, hang on a minute, they're all pos het albino now, so it was a very nice surprise. So happy we'll have a look at a couple of those. It looks like there's a couple of albino freaky zebras in there, which are beautiful. And I wasn't sure if they'd really work that well, adding, more Darwin blood into the mix, because those freakies come from coastal by jungles. So I thought, washing out, trying to add albino, I thought you may lose that altogether. It's just a polygenic thing. So it may not hold up.
There's only one way to find out, though, isn't there?
There is, and I did it by accident. So congratulations to me for fluking something else again. So, as you said, some very, very unkind words to me about how lucky I am at times.
Man with the golden, gun.
yes. Something about gold member.
Yeah. So a few others popping in. Adam, Brendan, Pete, Andrew, Daniel, Dave, Ledger Chapman, Rebecca, Will Roberts, Mr. Schumark, Adam Peter Staton, Katie, Carl, Dave, Julian, Michael Wardgrod. Everyone's asked. A few have asked and hope we had a good Christmas and stuff. We certainly did. And I hope everyone else has had a safe and happy Christmas so far. And if you're on holidays, hope you're enjoying it. And obviously, New Year's is just around the corner. So if you've got plans and going out, make sure you don't drink and drive and any of that silly shit. And be safe
smart.
And responsible. Yep.
Don't be a knob.
Yep. Don't get drunk.
If you do, just have a plan. Have a plan, they say.
Have a plan B.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
So I hope everyone's well. So what are you going to delight us with first? What do you got first?
Let's just jump into the pepper one, eh? Let me just change camera on this one.
Jump into it.
Let's go pepper hunting. If we can try and pull something.
So the potential in this is an albino pepper jag. Is that correct? Is that this clutch or a sunglow pepper jag?
Yeah, sunglow. Sunglow pepper jag would be the biggest combo, I suppose. Caramel to caramel too, so there could be some super caramel stuff in there.
So possibly service. Yep.
Impossible, but it's possible for proving out someday down the track. But certainly a sunglow pepper or an albino pepper would be absolutely stunning. Would be what I would be most impressed with.
Yeah. Maybe you can give one to me because I tend to struggle getting any.
Let's see if I can get one first, eh?
Yeah.
We'll see what comes. So, what's out of this? Nothing. We'll just start snipping. So even the old caramel peppers are quite beautiful.
Yep. And those beautiful solid black eyes that they get, and in the albino case, solid red.
Stunners. That is quite a wet egg. Funny enough, there's a caramel jag that popped out of this already. That's already out in the tub roaming around, and the rest of these eggs are still fairly wet. So that is also a caramel jag.
Caramel jag. Hard to see that. A bit glossy.
Very wet. I'll leave that alone. We'll just cut the top end of that and leave it be.
Yep. Pop its lid back on.
Yeah, one of them's absolutely out of the box and cruising, and the rest not quite ready. And actually, these are about day 56, so they're probably a little bit underdone still. Yep. Some of them anyway.
Obviously, subject to where they are in the incubator. Sometimes they'll go a bit longer if they're a bit cooler.
Yep. Yeah, so these were sort of mid-shelf. That the other clutch we're going to cut after this were sort of right at the bottom, so they're actually like day 63 or something. So they're on the slow cooker. Ooh.
And a white one.
A white one.
Oh, look. Ooh.
It's sunglow looking to me. That orangey colour, I definitely like the look of.
Looking at some of the pepper jag stuff, maybe it's just an albino.
Might be just a sunglow jag or something.
Jag, maybe, yeah.
We'd need this. It's definitely jagish.
There's definitely jag in it. 100% there's jag in it. That'd be my phone.
Nice little tune.
Oh, yeah.
Cannot see a head, and I should leave this alone, so I will leave that to be because it's wet. What a mess.
Mr. Hart. Oh, what a mess, Mr.
Hart. Oh, such good advertising that those ads are still buried in your head.
Yes, there's lots of stuff buried in my head.
Stuff that just keeps popping out on occasions.
Most of it's not good.
Yeah, there's goodness in there. You just got to find it. I'll cut this one a little bit smaller because seemingly all these are going to be wet and soggy.
Yep.
Jaguar, yes. Just a normal Jag, maybe.
So where was this clutch in your incubator? Where was it sitting? Was it down lower? Yeah, it looks like just a Jag.
Yeah, about midway down. Just a normal eye on that one for sure. So, Jaguar. I don't think it's even caramel, just a standard Jag. So yeah, these are to me look like they need another 2 or 3 days by the look at them. The one that's out and running around, he's obviously just a freak of nature that's come fully out of the egg before the event.
Definitely.
Which can happen, and like we said, once one's sort of pips, you still got to read the plate. Like to me, these eggs are still very full, so they're another couple of days before I'd be happy to see them.
Yep. Adam's saying both cams are nice and clear, and sound is great, and it's a good tick for you, mate. It's your normally terrible.
Mate, I turned everything on, and it all just worked and connected, and every setting was already in its place and working fine today. So.
There you go.
Thank you to the technology gods who have just done what they're meant to and worked.
Made things happen. Julian Hutchin, what did I miss? Nothing, mate.
Nothing yet, mate.
We dribble a bit at the start to allow people to join in.
We do. That's a caramel Jag or something. Can't see the head, so.
Very nice.
I won't go digging too much in there, as I don't really want to disturb them too much. What do you reckon?
That's nice. That's a Jag, mate. Yep.
Hopefully a pepper Jag. If we could see
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Just a Jag?
Yep. Prove me wrong. Go on.
No, I don't want to do too much. It's got a little bit of funky pattern down this other side. No idea where the head is.
Head's like, no. I'm not exiting the egg.
We might have to come back and have a look at these in a couple of days, I think. They're wet. Very wet. And
just because I've got a few Jag het peppers like that. I really like the, in brackets, black and white stuff.
Yep.
Nice. Caramali.
Nice caramel.
Nice. Caramel Jag too, by looks.
Hey, Jags everywhere in this clutch. This one's at least got a live and movement. That's its head right there, and just a normal eye. You can see its eyes sort of sneaking in there.
Yep.
Looking like a lot of pepper so far. But head to head, so 25% of the clutch.
It's all right, mate. The next 5 will all be Albino Sunglow Pepper Jags. Because that's how your luck goes.
That's how the magic happens here sometimes. Not always.
I could cut 100 eggs and maybe get one if I was lucky.
You never know. Any egg can be magic.
Yep. If you don't have an egg though, you'll never get one, will you?
No, exactly. Just my eggs tend to be a little bit more luckier than others sometimes.
That's looking like
caramel Jaguar.
The caramel doesn't look caramel here.
Looks caramel here.
It's black and white. Put the other caramel up beside. Maybe it's just because of the camera.
Definitely darker than that one.
Yeah.
Might be normal. To me, it looks a bit lighter.
How much alcohol have you had tonight?
Oh, no alcohol tonight. I had enough last night to cover tonight, tomorrow night, and hopefully I'll be recovered for New Year's. Yeah, the back end down there definitely looks lighter, but I see what you see over this side.
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously just looking at, there's a bit of reflection on the egg goop, on the albumin in the egg. So, yeah.
Where's all your heads? Show me yourself.
Move your head. Brad Griffiths, so stoked to be checking these out, guys. Hope you had a good Chrissy Daz and cheers for the chat today, Brent. No worries, mate.
Cheers, guys.
Sorry for you having to talk to Brent though. That's probably quite painful. Joe Sharp, g'day, buddy. Hope you're doing well,
Sharpie.
mate. Yeah,
made it home.
Yep. David Avery says, will they be 100% het or double het pepper albinos?
They will not.
Nope.
Everything will be pos het 66% Pos Het Pepper and Pos Het Albino, whatever is not a visual anyway. Any of the visuals will be Pos Het also for the other gene if they are a visual. Unless they're, of course, a double visual, then you don't need to worry.
Yep. Adam's family reptile den. G'day, mate. Says hi all.
Hi, mate.
Say hello to your mother. Hey, Jan. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a lovely Christmas. And I hope Brent bought you rotten and bought you lots of stuff. You deserve it. He even told me that you're working in the shop by yourself. What sort of son was it to his mother?
What a mother that she gave me 2 days off to actually have 2 days off this year, which is bloody brilliant.
Deserved it, mate.
More than happy. Well, she can. I'll give her all the next week off if I can have just 2 days off. Oh,
Carl Smith says maybe we can get the wife to cut for you one day, Brent. Maybe she will be better luck. I don't know. Maybe Brent has enough luck. If his wife cuts and gets better luck, my God.
Yes, that could be unbelievably dangerous.
Yeah.
She's not that keen on cutting for some reason. I don't know why.
Yep. Sorry, I've sidetracked from what do you got there? Albino? It's very hard to
Albino.
How much pattern on that?
Something.
Well, that's good.
Just looks albino to me.
Yeah.
Don't see anything that screams pepper.
It's almost very low pattern from what I can see.
Very light, yeah, very faded out. Very dull patterning. Yep, there's a normal eye buried way down in there. I can see it, but you probably would struggle on the camera. Down in the bottom of the pit there.
See a little bit on the side there, yep.
Just your everyday albino. Albino Pos Het Pepper. Not always a bad thing to have lurking around and try and prove out later on.
Definitely.
You must have a few ready.
Sorry?
You must have a few nearly ready, from your earlier clutches, albino.
Yeah, I've got plenty. I really like them, so I actually really struggle to sell the albino MDs. They kind of up there with the albino breadline in my basket. I've got a couple of really, really, really nice red ones. So
beautiful.
I'll work them into some polygenic peppers down the track.
There's some beautiful clutches from that. We've still got so much to explore with some of the polygenic games.
Any of the pepper stuff. I mean, we're just starting to see the mutations, and nothing polygenic out of it yet. Is that one all right?
Yep.
Or was it
I don't think so. I think that's
dead on. Also, it's nicked itself by the look of that cord wrapped around it there.
Yep, dead on arrival, I would say, because that cord around there is very restricted. We'll just get rid of that. I think it's too late. I think it's
no, it's gone, mate. Unfortunately,
looks very palish and not in a good way.
Yeah, I was talking to someone earlier on in the week about this sort of stuff, and I said it's the way it goes. I had someone asking me specifically, do you see many deformities in eggs in regards to breeding mutations and stuff? And I said it doesn't matter what you breed. You produce enough clutches like we do, and you'll get deformities, whether it's completely unrelated animals together or quite inbred animals together. You can get them. Look at that.
The eye on that. That
is pretty cool, isn't it?
Normal looking wildy type jag, probably. Can't see all of it.
I was going to say it's looking jaggish.
Crazy red eye, though.
Yeah.
Crazy
nice.
Red eye.
Crazy. Oh, new morph, mate. New morph.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a new morph. It's called Red Eye.
Red Eye. Yeah, not pink eye, Red Eye.
It's just been up all night, waiting to get out of its shell. That's all. Had a late flight.
Yeah.
Crazy Red Eye.
That's it.
Oh, no new morph, though, sadly. One to go.
Phil Colvin says, I'm going to be talking to my missus through cutting eggs over the phone this year while I'm in Melbourne. I hope she's not cutting eggs on those vents, bro.
That could be wild.
Brad Griffiths says, pink-eyed wilds. That's it, mate. You morph. You don't need to prove anything these days. Just call it out.
Yeah, mate. Put it on Facebook. It's official.
Yep, it's official. It's like, way back in the early days of APS, before it was much of a thing. If you had chondros, you're a god. Didn't matter if you knew nothing. You just had to have lots of money to buy chondros.
Yeah, you were a superstar.
Yep, that's it.
Everyone loved you.
For chondros, he's a god. It's like, no, mate.
Yes.
There's a couple of nice critters in there. Probably not the gold, the golden ticket, so to speak, that you're looking for with a albino pepper jag, but
absolutely terrible odds on the albinos. There is one albino, which is definitely an albino.
Yeah, funny about that.
Just an albino, and one, it looks to me, sunglow jagish. But now you're going to force me to go digging around in your secret.
No, don't dig around, mate. Leave them alone. They're all right. I'll come out when they're ready. We'll get updated photos.
Yeah, we'll leave it a day or two while I still continue to poke.
Phil says the Vens will be next year for her.
Yeah, no, I don't like the idea of baby crazy venomous snakes.
I've had Vens here in the past, and when you kind of walk into your room and you've put a little baby brown snake in a tub that probably shouldn't have been in, and it's sitting on top of the tub looking at you in a lovely S-shaped position, you think maybe that brown shouldn't have been in that tub.
I made a little mistake.
Yeah.
Here is the I'll pull this one out. Here's the little caramel jag that's out and free anyway. Just calm yourself down.
Very nice. Look, he's got a little loop around his head.
He's got his bum wrapped around his face.
Yep. Oh, that'll look quite nice too once it's shed.
Yeah, they come up all right after a little shed and a couple of feeds. They certainly put on a bit of colour. So
I do like the caramel stuff.
Love it, mate. The caramel is certainly one of my most favourites. Mix it in with anything else. It's always a nice combo. I'll shove these back in this tub because I'm out of room here.
Brad Griffiths is saying, like the super caramel I just bought where Mum was a black and yellow jungle. Work that out for me, Daz. Yeah, that's exactly right, Brad. 100%, mate. That's how it is these days. It's a super, but only one parent carried the gene. Interesting.
It's a freak of nature. Yeah. Sadly, some people just don't know. We had this talk before, Daz, about people don't know, and they sort of just go out on a limb and call it what they think or sometimes they've been sold something or told something and they don't know any better. So
I think it's sad that I would say more often the case is that somebody just trying to rip a few extra dollars out of someone else that's unbeknowing and is trusting of the person they're buying the animal from.
Yeah, sadly.
Which is sad. Like you see some fun stuff on Australian Reptile Classifieds. So certainly some interesting stuff pops up there. You see a photo and they're going, it's this, that, and the other, and you literally go, no, it ain't.
Yeah. There's so many hatchies on there to the supers, though. That's what amazes me. Super caramel. It's definitely a super caramel. I'm like, wow. But hey, It happens. It happens.
Yep. Todd says Sunglow Jag looks nice, so it certainly does. Adrian says, have any of the maternally incubated ants hatched yet? Yes, mine have all hatched. Actually, I actually had a bit of fun. I don't know if I said this about last time. I was sitting here on the computer doing some shit, and next minute my wife comes in because she's the one that finds everything, luckily.
Discovers things.
And she goes, there's a baby snake on the floor in here. I'm like, what? What? So I've gone in. Yeah, show me. So I've gone in. Sure enough, it's a hatchling Antaresia. And knowing that I had two maternally incubating clutches in the front room, and anyone that's watched the shows previously probably heard me say they're in V35 tubs, and there was a concern that they would get out. Yep. And my intention was to pull them out probably, 2-3 days before they're theoretically due to hatch.
Yep.
That was also, if anyone watched before, the clutch that I had temped at 33 degrees.
Oh, yes. Faster cooker.
So they actually hatch, not quite 10 days sooner than when they should have.
Yeah,
so
wow.
They've had quite a speedy incubation time. So I've gone in and opened up the thing, and sure enough, here's Mum with relaxed coils on the clutch, another couple of heads poking out. or almost all the heads poking out. There was a couple of snakes that were still in the tub, so I found all those, and there were actually 3 missing. So one they found, and I'm like, oh no! So I had to pull the rack out because where the rack was, there's a cupboard behind it. So I had to slide the rack out, pull every tub out.
Okay.
We found
hunting.
Yeah, mind you, this was het granite to het granite as well.
Oh, wow!
So
you didn't want them free?
I didn't want them free. Sliding out the tub. So I had the eggs, counted how many it hatched, how many we'd found, and there was 3 missing, 1 on the floor, so it left 2. So I went through the whole process of sliding every single tub out of the V35 rack, and by the time we got about 2 from the bottom, we found one lying in there between the heat cord sort of thing, all happily coiled up. So that was one.
Nice, quiet spot.
And then I'm like, there's got to be there's another one somewhere. So I've opened the cupboard up, which we use for storage, and I'm pulling stuff out. And I thought, I'll just check this side. Moved 1 bag of, some coloured pebbles that I had from the aquarium. For the last 20 years. And here, buried in the back of it was a granite.
It's had a great start in life. It's had plenty of adventure.
Yep, and plenty of adventure. So I then grabbed that, put them obviously in a tub in the incubator, and then I went straight to the other tub, which was the Port Headland stimmies. Took mum off and took the eggs out and chucked them in the incubator.
Once bitten, twice shy.
Yeah, so they had lost a couple of eggs in that clutch, but ended up hatching 14 out of that clutch. There was 20 eggs she had. So it was a big clutch.
How many granites did you get? Is that the first time you hatched the granites?
Yeah, just the one. Yeah. So
one's a start. One's a good start.
Yeah, there you go. There's
something to pair back to a parent later on anyway.
Bit of a story. Not sure what sex it is or anything yet. Sorry, so what's this clutch, mate?
At least you found it. This will be the second clutch. This is the Caramel Freaky Zebra Jaguar head Axanthic, Poss head Albino, paired to a Snow. So we'll definitely get to find out whether there is a albino gene lurking in the female.
Look at that. Is that Axanthic?
That very well looks Axanthic. Look at that eye.
So silvery eyes. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a reflection.
That could be Axanthic Freaky Zebra.
Yeah, it's definitely got the pattern for it.
It's got the pattern, and that eye screams Axanthic to me. That could be a fantastic start.
He's like, or she is like, what are you looking at?
And that's what do I really, that's what I've made these for. Try and get some of these Axanthic and Ghost sort of freaky combos and then make some supers. So that was the aim of the game. We just decided to throw in some possible albino stuff to make it a little more interesting.
Definitely.
So there's 2 that are chopped up and slit. So we'll get rid of those first because there is nothing yellow in those because I had a little peek in them already and they were brown.
Donna Bennett says hello and Merry Christmas to us. Hey Donna, I hope you had a good Chrissy. Brad Griffiths, there is some rippers out there, big time. Brent had a good laugh too.
Yes.
Turned out to be what I think is a caramel jag.
Yep, so and that's where maybe they had the fail that they thought super caramel, very light, but it's just caramel jag at play. So
yeah. Axanthic as well.
That is Axanthic, maybe Ghost even. Definitely Axanthic though. It's fairly dark, so probably just an Axanthic, but you can see that eye still nice and shiny silver.
Yep, beautiful. Adrian, Adrian asked, have you got a pic of the granite? No, I haven't. I've been slack. I'm just dealing with other shit in my head at the moment, so I haven't been very active on social media at all.
You're just happy to have it back in captivity, aren't you?
Yeah, that's it. The incubator has to be emptied this week and load everything into racks. So I'll try and get some photos this week if I can.
Get set up. The incubator's getting turned off for the season.
Yep.
She's done.
Still a few clutches sitting in there that need to come out. They've most of shed now, I think.
Ooh, that is also that is Axanthic or Ghost.
Tending to the side, maybe more Ghost.
I think Ghost, and that looks like freaky zebra jaguar pattern. I'll try and get away from that reflection. You see that patterning, like we saw in that the ghosty, freaky one we hatched not long ago from the sister of this one.
Yep,
that's definitely that freaky zebra jaguar patterning, which is beautiful. Absolute stunning combos. Little ocelots all over the place.
Yeah. It's good looking crit of that one by the look of it.
Still a little wet, this one, but it's alive and well. And the more I see of it, I think he's a ghosty. So
yeah, I'm tending to look at them. Definitely looks ghosty to me.
If I get rid of half this goopy on top, because it's more than ready. It's a tail.
That its head towards the egg, pointing towards you. The other end of where your scissors are. No, other end.
This side.
Yeah, that side. Up that other end. Up in there. Yeah, I thought I just saw them.
Yes. Yep. You were on the money, does. That he's definitely just pulled his little snout back away from me and said, piss off.
Yeah, I just sort of saw its head poke up there, like the top of his head.
Yeah, just a little. There we go. Here we go. Sorry, buddy. We just want to see your face.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
There we go.
Look at that.
Uma.
Very nice.
That's what. Well, this was the purpose of this whole experiment way back in the day, was to try and get some of these ghost freaky zebra jaguars. Was the aim of the game. So that is
ticking the box.
The end game. Yeah, 3 from 3 on the Axanthic.
No, that's not the end game. That's just the start of the next game.
The next step. The next step for supers down the track.
Oh, this one's numbered. This must be special.
Well, just the clutch number, because I put them on the bench. And remember last time we cut and I had 2 clutches on the bench, and I was like, okay.
Oh, who's doing the zoo?
Which is what? So this one, I thought I'll put clutch number 21 on one egg, and we can't go wrong.
Yeah. Brad Griffith says, have either of you guys produced or seen a super caramel super zebra?
No.
No, not proven anyway. I mean, not that you know, not that you could really tell the difference between a caramel and a super caramel anyway.
No.
So any caramel super zeb probably looks the same. Yeah, you might get some variation, but in polygenic side of things, but that comes with anything.
Yep, I've got couple of caramel super zebras. I don't think any of them could even be a super caramel from the pairings I did, but they're like you say, the variation in one I've got super light, and the other one is much more darker. So that's just a little caramel.
Yep.
It's alive. I was worried he might be a non-goer, but he's alive. He's just not keen on me annoying him. So
yeah, now that his head's up, he'll be right.
Get up and breathing into the team caramel.
2 Axanthics or ghosts is good.
Yes, 2 ghosts, 1 Axanthic, 1 caramel. I'd like to see something. I thought that for a second was light when I cut it. I thought, please be an albino something, but no. No yellow ones as yet.
It'll come, mate. It's you. You know?
I don't know, mate. I think that one in that other clutch was just a very lucky break. Ooh.
Oh, Axanthic or ghost? Axanthic?
Axanthic Jaguar. His head's right there, just underneath.
Oh, yeah. Very cool.
Love an Axanthic Jag. They always have a nice contrast. So that dark black with the grey. So a lot of people have asked me before about picking, Axanthics and ghosts, and Axanthics tend to be black and grey. And ghosts tend to be grey, a lighter grey. Like they have two lighter shades of grey mixed together.
Yep. So, okay, Todd Hodges in the house. Okay, Todd, hope you're doing well, mate. So he asks what the difference is between a super caramel and a caramel. So he says, what is a super caramel? I see heaps of POS super caramel snakes, but not sure what they look like. The reason they're called possible supers is because, for example, both the parents are caramels. So in the clutch, where you've got a double copy of the gene, i.e. therefore super caramel, could be passed on. It'd be a quarter of the clutch. The problem is with caramels, you cannot pick visually the difference between a super and a caramel, which is a heterozygous animal, only carries one copy of the gene. So, well, that's looking good, mate. Oh, that could be a ghost jag.
Ghost
You think,
jag
or
as
just,
well, I think.
just an Axanthic jag? Looks
Ghosty jag. Might be Axanthic, but it's one or the other. Looks ghosty to me.
There's a bit of a ghosty tinge to it. Yeah. That's nice. I like it. Lot, mate. Lot. So, yeah. So, sorry, Todd. So, yeah, the main reason is you cannot visually tell the difference between the super and the het form or the caramel form. So, there's a lot of people out there that go, oh, yeah, mate, super because it's lighter. It makes no difference. There's a polygenic variation that comes within the gene itself along with everything else, and it can be either extremely light or it can be dark. So just going off the phenotype does not give the answer. The only way to truly prove out if it's a super is to take it and breed it to something unrelated wild type and get an entire clutch of caramels. That's really the only way to prove it out 100% that it is actually super. So therefore, anyone breeding a caramel to caramel, whatever, the babies are always if it's a caramel, it's always a possible super.
And people are actually doing the right thing by calling them a possible super caramel than the people, it's different to people often get, I guess, confused with the wording. There's POS het things, that are 66% or 50% POS het carrying a recessive gene, but they're just doing the right thing, saying it's possibly a super, incomplete super, but you cannot sell it as guaranteed until it's been proven by breeding.
Yeah, so it's only proven if it's an adult that's actually a proven breeder. Caramel freaky?
I think so, mate. I think, which I absolutely love.
I like
caramel freaky zebra. Where's the head, Daz? You know where all the heads are. There we go.
It's in the egg, mate.
It's in the eggs, right down the bottom corner.
Elizabeth Randall's in the house. Hey, Liz. Hope you had a lovely Christmas and everything is good.
Violation maximum. Show yourself.
It's showing itself everything but the head.
It's there. Just playing games. I just want your head up, buddy. Lift your head from the bottom of that pit and I will be happy.
There we go.
Now you can go back to sleep. It's like disturbing a 14-year-old child on Christmas morning.
Good luck with that.
Would like to get up.
Tried to disturb a 17-year-old one. Had enough troubles with that.
Mine will still be awake. It'll be easy.
Yeah, well, that's what mine does. I got up the other morning and he was on the computer. I'm like, oh, next so I look, he went to bed. I'm like, what did he go to bed for? In this case, because he's been up all night, hasn't gone to sleep yet. I'm like, bloody hell.
That's an all-nighter, mate. That's pretty standard these days.
Yeah, I don't know. When I was a kid, I was up early out doing all sorts of stuff, running amok on holidays.
Yeah, I certainly used to run the occasional, most of the nighter. I couldn't do all-nighters, but these kids these days get it done. Even Piper said this morning she was tired this afternoon, and she said, "Oh yeah, I didn't go to bed at 5 a.m." It's like, there's the problem.
Yeah. Carl Smith says, so do you guys think that when Mr. Barczyk, Mr. Brian, comes here to visit Mr. Birch, that he might get here during one of the conventions? I would probably say so. maybe. I'm not sure. I'll have to catch up with Pete and see. It'd be good. I imagine if Brian's coming out, would probably come out to do something like that, unless he's just coming out here for a holiday.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'd think he'd like to go and see an expo.
I'm sure if there's an expo on when Brian's out here, I'm sure he would not like to miss the opportunity to go. Brian's a lovely guy. Had the pleasure to spend a couple of weeks a week over there with him and Pete over in the States and go through his facility.
You went to the real, what was it, BHP?
BHP Reptiles, yeah.
Reptile, yep. Back in the day.
Yep, and hang out with him when he came out here a couple of times. Lovely guy, Brian.
Cool to have some of those big boys come out down under and check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Come out, do a little field trip here and there and see some stuff in nature where it belongs and check out some people's collections.
Yeah, that's it. So that was another one. What do you got next? What are you hoping on the next one? What's your ultimate? I suppose you've got what you want out of this clutch, haven't you? Really? Let's see if we can get another one.
Ghost Freakies. I was hoping to see something albino, but I was
going to say unless there's something albino in there, it'll come on the last egg, mate, for you.
Just to keep my dream alive.
Yes.
So now I'm going to have to go back and try and prove out that other girl next year and see if she also carries the magic.
And this was paired with a snow as well, wasn't it?
Snow, yep. So
it'd be pretty high chance if she was head albino to actually see a white snake. But
yeah, definitely.
There's more ghosty love in there.
That is indeed ghosty. Might be just a ghost zebra, maybe. Ghost zebra jaguar.
That must be mine.
That could be if it's a boy. I might have an excess one or two of those the way things are going.
Oh, he's been on my want list.
Yes, very much. I was impatiently waiting for these heads to grow up and bring this magic.
Yep, I have quite a few caramel Zeb-Jag head Axanthics and Zeb head Axanthics and stuff that I've produced myself floating around. So they get up to size. That's one of those morphs that I'd like to produce. Definitely, I really like them. And then to bring my white line stuff into it.
Yep, enhance it. Polygenics into the recessives.
Yep, well, they're all coming on. So hopefully next year I'll see some of that white line with some clutches. Hopefully,
pump some feed in the off season. Lucky last one is a caramel.
It's not white.
Not white. Just a caramel zebra.
This is Zeb? Yeah.
Yeah, see that head pattern there. Now his head's up.
Yep. Got a very heavy set pattern by the look of it.
Quite a heavy for zebra. You always get that variation. You'll get some that are, the freaky end, and some that are. The head definitely looks that, but the body's it's very it is heavy for zebra, but that head to me looks zebra.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
But you get that, the variation we talk about. You get some that are super tight and exploded pattern of zebra, and then you get big, heavy, thick ones. And really, when we're mixing in, there's coastal, there's jungle, there's Darwin blood in these things. So you're certainly going to see a little bit of variation between what pops out every year.
Yeah, that's it. So Katie says, random thought, what if you bred a proven super to a proven super? Would all the babies be definitely super or still possible? No, all the babies will be definitely super because both parents carry 2 copies of the gene. So be like breeding albino to albino in a recessive trait form. So same deal. Yeah,
I'm back. My stream just out for a second, apparently.
Yeah, that's right. I'm dribbling as always, so it's no worries.
Just keep dribbling.
Yep, and like Jared Sharp has said, unless you're breeding from known super, i.e. super caramel, cross super caramel, all will be super. And the only thing out of that is knowing that you are actually breeding from super. So first you would need to prove that animal is a super caramel by outcrossing it normally. That's when you know. So fun times of proving stuff and not just labeling stuff because you think it's something you're different. Prove it out. Therefore, there is no question and no doubt. We all take photos and evidence and leave trails of that to prove these things along. So, yep, that's it. Matthew Bowen, when is next expo in Sydney, please? It is in February with Adrian Hammonds at Stanhope Gardens.
Sydney Expo, Sydney Reptile Expo.
Sydney Reptile Expo. I'm not sure what date it is.
Late 20.
And the winner is Sydney.
27th Feb.
The Reptile Expo. Something like that. February. Sydney Reptile Expo. Sydney Reptile Expo 2023 is Sunday, the 26th of February. So be there. Come along. We'll be there as always. There's the Sydney Reptile Expo. Then there's the Hawkesbury Herps version.
Later in March.
Yeah, in March. Then there's the VHS one. Or is the VHS before? I think it's after Hawkesbury, isn't it? The Victorian Herp Society Expo. And then Elizabeth Randall, Shakito's Critters, is there's one up in Queensland as well, which I would like to attend to. It would be good. I'd like to also get down to the VHS one as well for a change. They're on different weekends. Yep. So someone else. So Brad Griffith says, heard from a reliable source, Brian will be attending the Vic Expo next year. Oh, that's awesome.
Excellent.
Yep, that's good. We'll bring the crowd. He's quite a chatty guy, Brian, too. So,
lively.
Yeah. You got any other critters that hatched out you want to show us, Brent?
I do, mate. I'm just grabbing out that the sister to that girl we just cut, which was just a freaky zebra head Axanthic.
There we go. And here's a clutch we prepared earlier.
Here's one we knocked up beforehand, and that's why I was a little bit surprised. There's a ghost and an Axanthic. We can see the ghosts are a bit lighter in the patterning, a bit more solid, darker.
You actually see that quite clearly.
A nice little snow that popped out, and I can see now under this better light that's quite heavy in the pattern. This because it possibly could have been a snow zebra. Mm-hmm. But looking at
just a wild type snow.
Let me put it under the camera so we can all see.
It's blurry, mate. It's blurry.
It's blurry.
It's the beer I've had and my eyes aren't working properly, which is quite possible.
It's the trick we always fail on. The white background is not
the white background. Yes.
For focus.
Oh, yep. You can see the pattern in that. Yep. It's
very nice. Wild, normal, and quite yellow too. When we were talking about snows and moons can be hard to pick. This one with a lot more yellow pigment up that top end of the head and
it made it easier.
I guess a bit of jungle blood in there. That's going to be hard to hide some of that yellow.
Yep. I like it a lot, mate. It's very nice.
Very nice. Look at this Axanthic. Let me find the yellow ones.
Elizabeth saying Brisbane Reptile Expo is on the 1st and 2nd of April, both days.
Two-day runner.
Yep. What's this? Albino.
This one, Albino, and if I can get it to focus on that body.
Zeb. Yep.
I think this is one of the. There's two in there. I think Albino, Freaky Zebra.
Yeah, definitely see the pattern in there coming through.
If I can get it to focus on that.
Yep. Yeah, you can see that broken up style patterning. Very nice.
Yeah, you still start to see those little ocelots and circles.
A few sheds and a bit of size, it'll start to show its colours.
Start to pump out.
So you got two of those.
There's another one in here somewhere.
Sure, just two, and wasn't like 17 out of a clutch of 5. That's how your luck rolls.
Sadly not. There's a few albinos in there. I don't know what this one is. Quite thick in that skin, and their skin darkens up very quickly once they're out of the egg. They're heading straight towards a shed, so
can make it.
Possibly.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Zeb, I'm probably tending on the favour of a Zeb. I'm not sure if it's quite freaky or said, like.
Maybe.
Hard to tell.
Albino Zeb, maybe, or maybe just albino. Hard to say for sure.
Carl Smith reckons use a black light on it. You really see the pattern.
We'll pump them out for sure.
Yeah.
Just haven't got my black light handy right now.
That's racist, mate. It's called a coloured light.
This one looks better.
Blurry.
Blurry. Stand by.
Yep, definitely. See that one quite clear.
Get that one to come back a little bit.
Yeah, that's nice. Nice and contrasting.
So that one I'm pretty sure that's the freaky zebra pattern that we're hoping to get.
Yep.
So you can sort of see on the sides of that one definitely lots more little ocelots.
Yes.
So that one is a winner. That one I was very happy to see. There's one more. Stay in the please. One more albino-y thing.
Albino-y thing.
Albino, which I think might be just...
No, that looks Zeb to me. There's definitely some pattern going on there. It's not wild type.
Could be zebra. Oh, yeah, the head's a bit broken. Oh, yeah, there's definitely zebra when I look at that head.
Yeah.
So that might be just an albino zebra, perhaps.
I don't know. The pattern's looking a little bit different.
It's very faint on the sides. It's hard to pick up what's going on with that pattern. Very hard to see. Possible, don't know. Zebra though, like when I look at that head, in the back of the neck pattern.
Yeah, it's definitely a Zeb. You can see this the fine broken pattern.
It's just whether that, like we talk about, that freaky part of the mix is just polygenic. So some are going to get it, some are not. And I was just worried about mixing more blood in there, getting the albino in there. We might lose some of those traits, but looks like we might have got one or two to hold up okay.
Yeah.
And that might be it for show and tell tonight, Dennis.
Jeez. I didn't bring anything. I was slack. I haven't had anything overly exciting anyway, so to speak.
Yeah. Sometimes a little bit of relief from the chaos isn't a total bad thing. I'm sure you'd love more, but get this camera going back to where we go. There we go.
Ooh.
Back to normal screen. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's I think you'll enjoy the quieter season and probably come roaring back next year and do 67 clutches.
Computer says no.
Ness says no. I bet that.
Yeah, no. I'll probably do a few more next year, but I've got plenty of stuff to work on, and probably need to move a few adults on soon to make way for all the younger stuff coming through. Yes, there's always plenty of that sort of going on. So
Hold back central.
You know what it's like. Overloaded this year, and by the time you go, I'll hold all these back, and suddenly a couple of years down the track, all those that you've held back are now, smashing large rats. It's like,
and they're ready to go.
Move this into something bigger. Yeah,
and
all happens too fast.
There's probably no space in there for it to lay eggs next year. Funny enough.
Yeah. No, let me pull it out of the hatchie rack.
Space is just that never-ending problem. No, it's just when you think I think last year I thought I had it under control for a couple of seasons. I had a few empty tubs at the end of the year, which I was more than happy about. But by not even halfway into this season, I was already calling Mayday to Daz of please help. What do you do when you overshoot the mark by 200? Mr. Expert Overshooter, tell me more.
I know what to do. Here, take all this.
Darren has the care package of this will save your life for the next 3 months until you generate some space.
That's exactly right. 100%. Oh, you can make it surprising what you can do when you need to.
Yeah, exactly. When you absolutely got no choice, like Shree was having a little meltdown about it, and I was like, look, it'll work out. It always does. I don't have a perfect plan yet, and it's not going to be perfect scenario, but we're going to get through it. It's going to be fine, and she will love cleaning them all, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe not quite love.
She will do it and whinge, complain, and call me lots of names, I'm sure.
Yep. Stuart Gamble, Merry Christmas, Brent and Daz. As per usual, excellent show and some stunning babies. There's no need to be a compulsive liar, Stuart. You can just say, as per usual, I enjoyed the show. And they're Brent snakes. They're not that stunning. They are.
Sorry.
Had some crackers in there. Hey, Gordon, haha, turn the camera to me. I'm popping, yes, popping, not pooping.
Be careful with that typo.
Yes, especially with these glasses on, and a couple of beers. Sometimes the wording gets blurry.
Yes, don't poop on camera. It's never good.
Yep, Adam's Family Reptile Den. Thanks for another fantastic show, boys. No worries, mate. Just trying to help people and share what we do. So some like, some don't, and we don't care.
Yes, if you don't like it, get out.
Yeah, if you don't like it, you'll get out. Michael Woodgrod says, I'm sure you guys would have seen the videos of the silver pepper Siamese twin snakes that James Denholm up in Brisbane hatched a couple of weeks ago. No, I didn't see it actually. It didn't surprise me. Have you ever hatched anything Siamese before? Your thoughts on his Siamese silver pepper? Brent?
I have never hatched anything with two heads. That one that James hatched is surprisingly quite a healthy-looking animal too. I was surprised that once it was out, it certainly was moving very well. One of the heads very strong, and even James said he thought one head looked more dominant and was sort of taking the lead. If you jump on the Pepper page, Daz, I think it's on there, on the House of Pepper.
I will jump on and have a look.
Jump on there and we can do a little screenshot. I think there's a video of it alive. The other head certainly seems viable. It's tongue flicking and looking around the place. So I guess that's going to be normal. There might I've got no experience with them, so I don't know. But I would think that there would be a naturally more stronger head than the other head, I guess. So I remember Brian in the States, he had a bit of a fascination with him. He had a couple at one stage. I went to somewhere I saw, might have been not Brian's place actually. Might have been Jay Brewer's place. I think he had one there called Thelma and Louise, two-headed. I don't know what python it was, but very cool.
I'm sorry to interrupt, mate. I'm guessing it has been taken down because it says the content isn't available right now.
Oh, okay. Maybe try on Voodoo Reptiles.
Yeah, well, only thinking that maybe that someone's gone, that's disgusting.
Yep.
Voodoo Reptiles, and have complained that it's been removed, maybe, or whether he just copped a lot of shit for it, which is, not really justifiable as far as I'm concerned. Can't help but hatches in the clutch. It is what it is.
Yep. Interesting. I remember, I think, I don't know who was telling me about it. It wasn't Brian. It must have been something I read on it about. They were saying you can't feed both the heads at once, or you get logjam in the neck with the two food items going down at the same time. So you sort of got to feed one head, and the other head's trying to snap at it, and it's quite an adventure to get them fed well. Like feed one head and try and feed the other head shortly after. It's a little bit wild.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's a mutation. It's a freak of nature, etc. It's on Voodoo Reptiles page. I can't seem to find it. I'm on his page at the moment. I'm just looking through some photos. But yeah, I mean, most of those things don't tend to survive. They tend to die. There's a photo of it in the egg. I assume possibly that. I'll just share the screen here so we can see. I'm not sure.
One that, I thought he thought they might have been twins, but it turned out that.
I'm guessing that's the one. I'm guessing.
Possible. Yep.
But yeah, looking at
December 17, says Carl, Voodoo page.
Okay, let's have a look. I missed it, may not scrolled far enough.
Walt's saying pretty sure Brian had Thelma and Louise. It could have been Brian. I just remember it was Brian or Jay, one of the two. But very cool. Might have been on a show. I was watching it. Very interesting animals.
I'm sure he's put up a photo because that's obviously when it was going to hatch. It's the 13th. When they say 17th,
I think it was just after that. Yeah, I think the 17th.
Oh, that's 2 days ago. There's the 15th. There's that. What's this one? 3 red ones. That's just polygenics, mate.
Yep.
Red ones.
Variation in pepper.
Yep, that's just polygenics. That's
the
nothing.
Murray influence.
Well, it can be the Murray. It can also be the Darwin influence. You're getting influence from both sides because obviously you look at some of the actual wild type Darwins. They're quite high in, reddy brown sort of colorations. And if you happen to get the polygenic side of reds in Murrays and then reds in the Darwins, you end up with red wild types. So I've got
one I asked you about.
I've got a few, that hatch out that are quite red. There's definitely nothing genetic involved. It's just polygenic variation, as he's kind of mentioned here. Polyvariation.
Nice snake, though.
Definitely. I really like the reds. See, like this one here, I've actually got quite a few kind of similar to that.
Yep.
Wild types. Yep.
Beautiful red. But you can't see the double-headed snake, though. It's not on your feed.
No, it's not showing at all. Not showing at all, unless that was Carl sending me an attachment. Before I open this, I might just do this. You never know what the attachment might be.
Bad things come up inside your messenger box at times, I have heard.
No, it says I think I sent it through Carl, but it's coming up attachment unavailable. So maybe I just haven't seen it and missed it. Now it's gone. I can't see it.
It's possible it's deleted and it's showing up in Carl's cache memory. If he's got it, let me have a look on mine while we're all having a good look around.
If you're on the computer, go to your snipping tool, cut and paste it, and send it that way. I was looking to see those to see if I could actually see, because it would be cool to see. But generally, the lifespan on anything like that is not great and not good. And because of it, I certainly wouldn't want to breed from it, because it's obviously deformed. The fact that it's probably cool to look at and all that sort of stuff, but at the end of the day, it is a deformity. Whether it's, as Wayne Deb Larks had one with his heart pumping on the outside of its body and all sorts of stuff.
Yes, seen that.
It's generally a sign of a weakening in the genes, and I certainly wouldn't use it. So.
Yep. Yeah, I can see it does. I don't know why you can't. It's straight the next post underneath where the kid and the dog video is. Let that snake go. It's the next one down.
I've just got is it between the Brisbane Reptile Expo?
Yep.
The thing? Yeah, I don't know why I can't see it.
It's Facebook being very selective on who can see what. It's a TikTok video. So
don't have TikTok on here.
Maybe that's why. Maybe because you haven't got TikTok, you can't see the format of it.
Possibly. Can you take a screenshot of it? Or you're on your computer?
Yep.
Your snipping tool down the bottom on your bars, a little pair of like scissors in a circle. Let me guide you. Share screen. Here we go.
Hang on, I'll try and send this to you. But if you don't have TikTok, I don't think this is going to work anyway.
See down here. Have a look at the screen. See down here. There's the like on here. The Leica snipping tool. There we go. No, attachment unavailable. It could be just my computer just going, mate.
I'd say if you don't have TikTok on your computer, open it. You got your phone beside you? You got TikTok on your phone?
Hang on. No, probably not. Do I? Yes, I do.
Come on, Daz. Brent Moy's right on it. I would have thought the same. Daz would be all over TikToker, doing all the little dances and all sorts of shit. What? Attachment unavailable?
Mm-hmm. And I've got TikTok on my phone.
I don't know. And that's the one I sent you?
Yes. Attachment unavailable.
Copy link, maybe. Let's try copy link. Us tech heads, it's far outside of our ability.
Computer says no, mate.
Paste. All right, try that one. Probably going to be the same result, but
page isn't available right now. Reload page.
Oh.
Hello. Say hello to my daughter, everyone.
Hello, daughter.
Hi, I didn't know you were having a show.
You're not even on camera anyway. Luckily, you're on a screen share, so she didn't get to be famous.
Please. Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm getting.
You got to stop feeding those kids, mate. They keep growing.
No, nothing. So I don't know. I can't see it, so that probably explains why I haven't seen it.
Try that new link I sent you.
E-link.
In Messenger. Sometimes I know Messenger doesn't like the links don't go well, but I've actually copied the link to that, not just shared it.
I'm still unavailable. Nothing's
Same.
Nothing. Oh, don't matter. Whatever it is. Anyway.
You haven't even looked at it in Messenger.
Facebook Messenger?
Yeah.
From your Facebook Messenger?
Yep. Doesn't even show the tick.
There you go. There's my...
Still no play.
It's just because we're blocked down here. Before we go, I'll go this way. There, see? Here you go, mate.
Oh, God damn it. Technology has beaten us once again.
Yes.
So now it's showing red.
Geez, what's that coming up on my feed?
Be careful, be careful. Still school nights.
Right. Rise of Kingdoms. That's a game or something, I think.
I don't know. Anything with the Rise of that had a girl with a funny furry top on, I don't want going live.
So, but yeah. So anyway, that's a pity. I would like to actually see that.
Craig Mason says he's going to send you a screen recording to you, Daz. So keep an eye on that one for Messenger. But yeah, at the end of the day, I've never hatched one. I've hatched things with their brain fully exposed on snakes, like you say, organs and things protruding out the body and some very weird deformity things, but never a two-head thing.
I've hatched stuff with like 1.5 heads, like literally with 3 eyes, for example, and like 2 mouths and 3 eyes where 2 heads have like fused together. Obviously, when I say hatched, dead in the egg, not actually, they've actually come out, you pip an egg and go, oh, geez, look at this thing.
That's cool.
So I've never actually had anything survive.
No, I had one earlier this year. We tried to see, and it had a head, normal head, and it had like another head stuck to the side of its head. 2 heads sort of merged together. Very weird one, but yes, dead. And I did enjoy it for breakfast the next day. Yes, those sort of weird things. It's very hard to get them alive and well established and doing well. I just imagine they would be quite the battle, being such a weird individual. So the ones that are adults out there have done exceptionally well to grow up.
Yep. Yeah, I'm sure the link's right, mate. It's just because we're on the computer and not on my phone. I can't actually click the link, so I'll have to have a look at it later. I think Brian Barczyk's one is Tom and Jerry.
Possible. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I went to what's his name in California.
You're telling the story.
Jay Brewer. Yeah, I went to Jay Brewer's place in LA, and I took video and I saw it. I think it was Thelma and Louise that was at his place that I did see. I never went to Brian's place, so I don't know what he had. If it was Brian's, I only would have seen it on a video, but I'm fairly sure I actually took a video of that Thelma and Louise at his shop. So
yeah, they generally don't fare well. Adam's Family Reptile Den says the same thing. He had one two-headed dragon on his page, didn't make it.
Yep.
Yeah. It might be cool to look at, but unfortunately, it's just a deformity. You know, like they generally don't do well. Normally, they will pass away. You know, like most things. But
I know Dave Raptor actually hatched one a couple of years ago, 2 heads, dead. I don't think it even came out of the egg, but it was absolutely fully formed, coloured. You know, you could see the entire pigment and pattern of the snake, but dead with 2 heads. Very, very similar looking thing with like an inch long head stemmed out, in a V section. So weird, but yeah. Definitely did not last, sadly.
Yeah, it's normally detrimental to them, unfortunately. But, well, that's probably about it, mate. I think kind of roll through some questions, and would have been nice to have seen that 2-headed thing, something a bit different. Whether it actually survives or not's another story, I guess. So
yeah, see how it goes. We'll get some updates from that, I guess, in time. We'll see if it does well or not. It'll be an interesting thing to see. It'd be interesting to see feeding, and if you'd ever got one to reproduce. I mean, I'm sure it's not going to make more, but whether the thing would actually reproduce well would be interesting anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be an interesting question to pose that those who actually had them, like Brian Barczyk and Jay Brewer, and those guys who actually had some 2-headed things for a while. Whether they've actually subjected them to breeding or not, or whether they've just purely kept them as a pet, so to speak, I guess.
Yep.
An anomaly.
Freak of nature.
Yeah.
There's James. G'day, man. He's saying, it was euthanized. So
okay.
Did not go well. Sad to see.
Yeah. There we go.
That's what happens with the freaks of nature. Sadly, a lot of them don't do very well.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Certainly cool to see, that's for sure. But it's a pity it didn't survive. But it's probably the best thing for it in the long term anyway. Like humanely speaking. So anyway, all right. Well, if you've got nothing else, mate, we may as well call it up there. So I hope everyone's had a fantastic Christmas, and please be safe over the New Year's. If you're going out and partying hard, make sure you get home safely. Don't drink and drive and be stupid. Enjoy yourselves, have fun.
Are you staying home?
No, we're not going anywhere. I'll be at home bored, doing nothing. As you know, we're going on a bit of a break after. So, yeah, we're not doing much other than getting ready to go away. So, that's it. What about yourself, mate? You got much planned, or?
Just a friend's place. So we'll be local, not too far away. So I don't like to be too far away. My poor dog doesn't like fireworks, so it's
same with us. Any sort of thunderstorms or noise, she normally ends up here underneath the desk, curled up on my feet, trying to hide from it all.
And you get all the local knobs who want to set off stuff in the street out the front, which whatever. If you want to do fireworks, go to the fireworks. Don't do it in people's front yards.
Yeah, that's it. But anyway, so if people are trying to get in contact with you, Brent, how do they find you?
KHP Reptiles on Facebook, Messenger Brent Smith, or the webpage www.khpreptiles.com.au. And yourself, Mr. Dazwan?
Yep, nowhere. I don't exist.
You've been a little bit of a ghost this year, you have, but
I've had my own battles, but yeah, Morelia by Design or Darren Whittaker on Facebook is probably the best places to catch me. And obviously, there's a YouTube channel there as well. You can go and have a look at any of these older videos that we've done. But everyone, be safe, be kind to each other, and we'll talk again soon. Good night and goodbye.
cheers, guys.